A man boarded a business class flight from New York to Paris. He paid $1,300. The passenger sitting next to him paid $8,700. Same seat, same flight, same champagne. The only difference? One traveler understood how airline pricing really works. Airlines don't price business class based on distance or luxury. They price it based on demand algorithms, corporate travel patterns, and fare buckets most passengers never see. Industry analysts say airline pricing systems constantly adjust fares based on supply, demand, and traveler behavior patterns. And once you understand those patterns, the price difference can be enormous. Today, I'm breaking down 12 business class loopholes airlines quietly hate because they can save travelers thousands of dollars per flight. Some of these are simple, some are surprisingly powerful, and one of them has triggered lawsuits from airlines trying to stop people from using it. Let's start with the loophole that frustrates airlines the most. Number 12. Hidden city ticketing. The loophole airlines fight the most. Hidden city ticketing is one of the most controversial travel tricks in aviation. Here's how it works. Instead of booking a direct flight to your destination, you book a cheaper connecting itinerary. Example, New York to Dallas to Los Angeles. But instead of continuing to Los Angeles, you exit the airport in Dallas. Why does this work? Airline pricing isn't based strictly on distance. Sometimes a longer flight with a connection is cheaper than a direct flight to the layover city. Travel hackers call this skip lagging. Airlines call it a violation of their ticket rules. In fact, several airlines have attempted legal action against passengers using hidden city tickets repeatedly. Here's the catch. This trick only works with carry-on bags. If you check luggage, it will continue to the final destination. So while the loophole can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars on premium cabins, it requires careful planning. And that's just the beginning, because sometimes you don't even need loopholes. Airlines accidentally discount business class themselves. Number 11. Error fares. When business class gets priced like economy. Airline pricing systems are complex. Sometimes they make mistakes. These mistakes are called error fares. They happen when a currency conversion error, pricing glitch, or incorrect fare rule causes business class seats to appear dramatically cheaper than normal. Travel deal sites regularly track these rare pricing mistakes. Some business class error fares have dropped prices by more than 70% compared to normal fares. For example, a business class ticket normally costing $3,000 may suddenly appear for $900. And once deal hunters spot these fares, thousands of bookings can happen within hours. Airlines sometimes honor the tickets. Other times they cancel them if they determine the fare was a clear error. The key to catching these deals is speed. Most error fares disappear within minutes once discovered. That's why experienced travelers follow airfare alert services and deal trackers, because once the mistake spreads online, the opportunity closes fast. But airline pricing tricks don't always require mistakes. Sometimes the best strategy is simply understanding when airlines panic about empty seats. Number 10. The 2 to 4 month pricing window. Most travelers believe booking earlier always saves money. That's not always true for business class. Airline pricing systems often start with extremely high prices months in advance. Why? Because early bookings are usually made by corporate travelers whose companies pay the bill. Those passengers prioritize schedule, not price. But as the departure date approaches, airlines start monitoring how many premium seats remain unsold. If the business class cabin still has empty seats 2 to 4 months before departure, prices often begin to drop. Travel experts regularly observe major fare drops in this window when airlines try to fill unsold premium inventory. Because an empty business class seat generates zero revenue, a discounted seat still generates profit. That's why patient travelers sometimes see dramatic price changes. One week, a seat costs $6,000. A month later, it might appear for $2,500. Timing alone can reduce the cost of business class by thousands of dollars. But timing isn't the only trick smart travelers use. Sometimes simply changing one small detail about your flight route can cut the price in half. Number 9. Layovers can slash business class prices. Non-stop flights are convenient, and airlines know it. Business travelers often prioritize time over cost, so airlines charge a premium for direct flights. But adding a layover can dramatically change the price. For example, Chicago to London direct might cost $5,000 in business class, but Chicago to New York to London might cost $2,700. Same final destination, same business class seat. The only difference is the stop in between. This happens because airline pricing models calculate demand separately for different routes. Flights heavily used by corporate travelers tend to carry higher prices. Adding a connection often places you in a different pricing structure. And here's something many travelers don't realize. Layovers in business class aren't uncomfortable. Premium passengers gain access to airport lounges, which often include free meals, quiet seating, showers, and private rest areas. So a 1-hour connection can actually become a relaxing break instead of an inconvenience. But here's the surprising part. You don't always need to buy business class to fly business class. Sometimes airlines will offer it to you after you've already booked economy. Number 8. Booking economy and upgrading later. This strategy surprises many travelers. Instead of buying business class directly, some travelers book a regular economy ticket first. Then they wait for upgrade offers. Airlines frequently send upgrade invitations by email or through their booking systems. These upgrades are usually offered when business class seats remain unsold. Airlines would rather sell the seat at a discount than let it fly empty. Many airlines also operate upgrade bidding programs, where passengers can submit offers for available premium seats. Travelers sometimes win upgrades for a fraction of the original price. The logic is simple. If a $5,000 seat is empty, selling it for $700 is still profitable. But there is an important rule. Basic economy tickets often cannot be upgraded. That's why experienced travelers book standard economy or premium economy when planning to upgrade later. This tactic requires flexibility and timing, but when it works, the savings can be massive. And sometimes you don't even need to bid or wait, because airlines occasionally send deals directly to their subscribers. Number 7. Airline email deals most travelers ignore. Airlines regularly send promotional fares to their email subscribers. Many travelers delete those emails without opening them. That's a mistake. Airlines sometimes use email lists to quietly sell unsold premium seats. These sales may never appear on major booking websites. Instead, they are sent directly to loyalty program members or newsletter subscribers. Travel experts recommend joining frequent flyer programs even if you rarely fly. Membership is free, and subscribers sometimes receive limited-time promotions that last only a few hours. Some deals are surprisingly generous. Airlines may offer business class discounts of 40 to 60% during promotional sales. These promotions are often used to fill empty premium seats on specific routes, because once the flight departs, that empty seat can never be sold again. Airlines would rather discount it quietly than advertise a huge sale publicly. That's why experienced travelers watch their airline emails carefully. But even better deals sometimes appear completely by accident. And when they do, travelers who understand the system move fast. If you're finding these tips helpful, consider subscribing. I share simple travel strategies like this that can save hundreds or even thousands on trips. Now let's look at the next one. Number 6. Google Flights Price Tracking. One of the simplest travel tools is also one of the most powerful. Google Flights allows travelers to track airfare changes automatically. Instead of checking prices every day, travelers can activate price alerts for specific routes. When fares drop, Google sends an email notification. This matters because airline prices fluctuate constantly. Airlines adjust fares using dynamic pricing algorithms based on demand, competition, and remaining seats. Travel experts say price tracking tools help travelers monitor these fluctuations and catch sudden drops. Sometimes business class fares fall dramatically for short periods. Without alerts, those deals are easy to miss. Google Flights also allows flexible date searches. Travelers can view price calendars showing how fares change across different days. A flight on Tuesday may cost hundreds less than the same flight on Friday. These small adjustments can create big savings. But the most advanced travel hackers go even further. They don't just change dates, they change where their trip begins. And that trick can unlock some of the biggest business class savings of all. Number 5. Positioning flights to cheaper airports. Business class prices vary dramatically between airports. Large international hubs often have lower fares because airlines compete heavily there. Smaller regional airports usually have fewer competitors and higher prices. Travelers exploit this difference with something called a positioning flight. Instead of starting the trip from their home airport, they first fly cheaply to a major hub city. Then they begin the business class itinerary from that hub. For example, business class from a small city to Europe might cost $8,000, but a traveler could fly economy to New York for $150, then book New York to Europe business class for $3,200. Total cost $3,350 instead of $8,000. Positioning flights require extra planning and time, but the savings can be dramatic. Experienced travelers compare prices from multiple departure cities before booking. Sometimes a short positioning flight unlocks a much cheaper premium fare. But even this trick doesn't beat the oldest airline strategy in the book: overbooking. Number 4. Overbooking upgrades. Airlines routinely sell more tickets than seats available in economy. This is called overbooking. Airlines do this because some passengers never show up for their flights. If too many people arrive, the airline must move some passengers to different cabins. Sometimes that means upgrading travelers to business class. Airlines in the United States have historically bumped hundreds of thousands of passengers each year due to overbooking. Passengers who volunteer to take later flights may receive travel vouchers, cash compensation, or premium cabin upgrades. This doesn't happen every day, but when flights are oversold and business class still has open seats, upgrades become a practical solution. Frequent flyers sometimes volunteer strategically. If the compensation offer is high enough, they accept the bump and take a later flight. In some cases, they walk away with both compensation and an upgraded seat. But the biggest savings don't come from upgrades, they come from understanding the pricing system itself. Number 3. Fare bucket pricing. Every airline seat belongs to a pricing category called a fare bucket. Even though all business class seats look identical, they may be sold at very different prices. Airlines divide seats into booking classes such as J, C, D, and others. Each class represents a different pricing tier. Early bookings often fall into the most expensive buckets. As departure approaches and unsold seats remain, airlines open cheaper fare buckets. Travelers who understand this system know that prices can change dramatically even when the seat is the same. This explains why two passengers sitting next to each other may have paid vastly different prices. Fare buckets are one of the hidden mechanics behind airline pricing. They help airlines maximize revenue while adjusting prices based on demand. For travelers who understand the system, it creates opportunities. And those opportunities become even bigger when multiple strategies are combined. Number 2. Combining multiple strategies. The biggest savings rarely come from one trick alone. They come from combining several strategies. For example, a traveler might track fares with Google Flights, wait for the 2 to 4 month window, depart from a cheaper hub, add a layover, then upgrade from economy. Each step reduces the price further. Individually, these tactics might save a few $100s. Together, they can reduce business class prices by thousands. Travel pricing isn't random, it follows patterns. And once travelers learn those patterns, they begin spotting opportunities everywhere. But there is still one final strategy many travelers overlook, and it can make business class flights dramatically cheaper. Number 1. Mixing business and economy strategically. You don't need to fly business class for every segment of your journey. In fact, the smartest travelers rarely do. Long overnight flights are where business class matters most. The ability to lie flat and sleep can make a huge difference. Short daytime flights often don't justify the extra cost, so experienced travelers mix cabins strategically. For example, economy for a 2-hour flight to a hub city, business class for the 7-hour overnight flight across the ocean. This approach focuses the premium experience where it matters most. Many booking systems even allow mixed cabin itineraries. That means travelers can design their trips to maximize comfort while minimizing cost. And when these strategies are combined with airline pricing patterns, the savings can be remarkable. Because business class pricing isn't random, it's a system. And once you understand the system, flying in luxury doesn't have to cost a fortune.